One, you got it.
Khan. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.
We back with another Friday night class. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. This is a Bible school, so you're gonna need a pen, a notepad, a Bible, your apocrypha, and your thinking cap, man. Um, just gonna start off with a couple announcements. We do got the Hebrew Summit, August 6th. We're gonna be at Woodruff Park at 2 p.m. for camp. August 7th, we're gonna be at the summit. That's at 12 p.m. noon. And August 8th, we got a cookout. All Israel is invited. And it's gonna be at the Ben Hill Park. We're gonna have a barbecue at 12 noon. All right. We also have classes on Mondays. You got Milk Mondays with the Ottawans, Eliel and Judah and Ariah. We also got Tuesday classes with the Ottawan Ma'akaya, Ottawan Yakum Yah. Thursday we got TNT with the Ottawan Benaiah. And Fridays, we got the Sabbath class, man. And also on Saturdays, we go live at 12 noon on Facebook. All right. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. All right. Hey, Ottawan, could you take that off?
Shalom, Ottawan Stocks.
Con.
Prospect.
All right. So we're going to get in here and we're going to start with Sirach 3. Right. The title of this lesson is going to be The Obedient Son. Right. The Obedient Son. I'm starting to see it in Israel. A lot of brothers is having sons, man. It's like the year of the son. I'm having a son. A couple brothers in the camps is having a son. So we got to really get on fatherhood and just being a son, right? Obeying our fathers, man. All right. So let's jump right into it. Give me Sirach 3 and start at 1 up.
Got one. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 1.
Can y'all hear that? Salakia. Can y'all hear that on the call? Can y'all hear the brother clearly? All praises. Okay. Go ahead, King. Let's get into it.
Got one. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe.
Right. So these are the instructions of a father that we could be safe. A lot of if you look at it in the Black and Latino community, how many children are being obedient to their father, man? If the father is even there. And even that is a curse. First of all, in order to be an obedient son, the father must first be in the household. Let's get that real quick. Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Let's get the classic real quick. Let's pull that.
Got one. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. And it reads, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Which he shall leave. That's the curse that's put on our men in today's time. We will leave our children. We will be abusive to our wives. We will hate our brother in our heart. And when we're doing those things, man, we tend to teach those things to our children, especially our sons. And our sons see that. They see those actions that happen to the fathers, and they tend to follow them. One thing about men tend to learn by action, right? That's why most of our men in these school systems, they drop out or they fail because they force us to sit there 8 to 10 hours a day and learn like that. Men do not learn like that. The Black and Latino man does not learn in that order, right? So that's why men or young men tend to obey, whether it's negative or positive. And we're going to get into that a little bit, all right? Let's go back to Sirach and start with 1 again.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe.
The instructions of a father that you could be safe so you can succeed in life. Keep going.
For Yahweh hath given the father honor over the children, and hath confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons.
So fathers is supposed to be there. That's the conclusion of 1 Corinthians 11, where it gives the order of Christ, the Most High Christ, the man and the woman. That's the finishing order. The man is over all the children. And specifically, the wife is supposed to replicate what the man is putting down, and she gives that authority to her sons and her daughters. All right? Keep going.
God. Verse 3. Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins.
Did you know that was in the Bible, man? That if you honor your father, it make an atonement for your sins. Right?
That's right.
You don't have to wait till the day of atonement. My father used to say that back in the world. The way you treat me is the way your children are going to treat you.
God.
That's what it's saying right there. If you honor your father, you make an atonement for your sins. Therefore, your kids won't be disobedient unto you. That way, your kids will listen to you in the near future when you have them. Right? Let's get a precept. Let me get Exodus 20 and 12. Exodus 20 and 12. Go ahead, Doc. Hold on one second. Go ahead.
Can you repeat that last scripture?
That was Exodus 20 and 12. You got Con. Go ahead, Benjamin.
God one. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee.
Right. So we're supposed to honor our father and our mother, hold them to a certain standard, lift them up, man. We don't do that anymore in the community. We don't honor our father and our mother. We tend to treat them like garbage, man, when you really think about it. But this is why you see the community or the young men in the community dying at the rate that they're dying at, because they're not honoring their father and their mother. Therefore, their days won't be long upon the land, right? That's why they get wiped out in a drive-by. They get wiped out at the corner store, right? That's all judgments from the Most High because they refuse to be obedient, all right? Let's go back. Let's go back to Sirach.
God.
It says Salakia.
You got Proverbs 20 and 20?
Let me see. Hold on. If I do, I'll bring it out again. Bring it out.
God, I got it.
Proverbs 20 and 20.
Come on, bring that out.
This is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 20. Whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness.
If you curse your father and your mother, your lamp is going to be put out. Sweep that, whether that's in the truth, like the book of Revelation say, right? If you curse your father and your mother, especially the ones that's in the faith, your lamp will be put out, man. Because that's a commandment. And the brother brought it out, mighty. I also got some precepts that's going to go into that too, right? But that's a mighty precept. All right. Let's go back to Sirach. We're going to be in Sirach majority of the book. I'm just breaking down Sirach 3 and a little bit of 4. We're not going to be here too long, man. Let brothers and sisters enjoy their Sabbath day. And that's it, Let's go back to Sirach 3 and go to verse 4.
God one.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. And he that honoreth his mother is as one that laid up treasure.
Right. So we must obey our mother, right? But let's look at the opposite when we don't obey our mother. Give me Isaiah 3 and 12. Give me Isaiah 3 and 12. Let's see if we really honoring our mother. Let's see that, man. Give me that Isaiah 3 and 12.
God. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
God. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
So how are you, Salakia, how are you honoring your mother, right? How are you being obedient to your mother when you are an oppressor? You are oppressing your household by what? Being in the street, being a gangbanger, selling crack, selling dope. And but us, we also are loving people, man. We say, hey, I sell this weed, I sell this crack to put food on the table because daddy ain't there. That's how we look at it. But in all actuality, that's still wrong. You're still an oppressor. You're oppressing your people by selling them the crack that was put in your neighborhood. Instead of saying, hey, I'm not going to sell this to my people. I'm going to go get a 9-to-5 at McDonald's. That way I can help mama out. But that's why it says right here, children are their oppressors and women rule over them, because the mothers in the house, since the daddy gone, they kind of say, well, I kind of need it. I need that little extra money from pushing crack and pushing weed, not looking out for the son life at all. That's why it says that the son is the oppressor. The children are the oppressors, and the women rule over them. And that's why the father got to get back in the home, man. The father must be in the home because the father establishes order.
That's right.
It's kind of hard to shake the curse that's put on you, man. It's very hard because you got child support, you got Medicaid, you got WIC, where if your woman, how can I say, if your woman receives these things, you can't be in the household. So the government makes it hard for you to even be there. You may not even want to fulfill the curse, but they're gonna make you feel that curse, man. Just so your woman can say, well, I'd rather have food stamps than have a man in the house. Right? That's happening today. And when that happens, women tend to rule over the children that's going to oppress them, man. Right? Let's go back to Sirach. Give me Sirach 3 and 5.
Got one. Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children.
Right.
And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard.
See, your prayer is not being heard if you're not honoring your father, Israel. Your prayer is not being honored or heard if you're not honoring your father. That go for the young men in the truth too. Because you get this certain type of zeal. I had it. Got this certain type of zeal when you get in the truth. Man, daddy don't know nothing. The other one did a beautiful lesson like that. Other one, y'all all did a lesson like that. It's maybe like a year old, where it talks about when brothers come in. He said, I think the title of the lesson is going to be, if you don't obey your parents, you're going to die. I think that's the title of it. Go check that lesson out, Israel, because that's very important. If you're not honoring your father, whether he's in the faith or not, your prayers are not being heard, man. We get this type of zeal in the truth where we come in, your father don't know nothing, your granddaddy don't know nothing, your mama don't know nothing, nobody knows anything. And now all of a sudden we start disrespecting our father that done brought us up for 20 and 30 years. All of a sudden you come in the truth and he don't know nothing. That's going to cause your prayers not to be heard. Read verse 6.
God, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
He that honoreth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto Yahweh shall be a comfort to his mother.
Right. You're going to be a comfort to your mother. Right. Give me Genesis. Matter of fact, give me Genesis 27 and 27. Salaki. Deuteronomy 21 and 18. Salak. Deuteronomy 21 and 18. Talking about honoring your father shall have a long life. This gonna get into the point that the other one made. Like your lamp gonna go out. Let's get into this. Deuteronomy 21 and 18.
God. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him and will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place.
Start right there. If you choose not to honor your father, choose not to honor your mother, and you want to be a stubborn nigga, a rebellious nigga, or a spick man, this is what's going to happen to you. Back in the ancient day, your father and your mother would bring you to the elders of the city. Can you imagine being brought to the elders of the city? We was talking about that last night, where back in the hood, you know what I'm saying? The next door neighbor would whoop you. That's what the elders of the city used to do. Let you act up. Let you be a stubborn and rebellious son or daughter. The elders are gonna get you. Can you imagine all the mighty elders that we got in Israel now? Them laying hold on you. These some big ass brothers. Salakia, they big brothers, man. Right. But that used to happen back in the ancient day because we wasn't obedient to our fathers and our mothers, right? We wasn't trying to hear anything that they had to say. The same thing happens today. It's nothing new under the sun. The same thing happened. The young man run the streets, and a young daughter, she starts stripping, man. Right? Let's keep going on that in Deuteronomy 21 and 18.
Okay. When we start from 18 or
19. Read 19 one more time.
okay. Verse 19. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him out unto the elders of his city, and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, This is our son. This is our son, is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard.
Don't we say that today, man? This young man, this young Negro, all he do is eat up all the chips, eat up all the food, and drink 40s all day. God. This man is a glutton and a drunkard. Now let's see what they did to the boy. Right? 3:21.
Verse 21. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones,
they shall do
that
what?
he die. Shall stone him with stones, that he die.
Right, and that's what happened to you when you didn't honor your father and your mother. You didn't have no long life. You got put to death.
That's right.
By the elders of the city. That's what happened back then, man. And nowadays, look, the Most High will blow your candlestick out now and remove you from this truth. If you don't start to hearken to your father and your mother, if you're not that obedient son, right? If you don't listen to your father or a particular man that you hold of high authority in your life, even the elders, man, if you're not listening to them and, as fathers, letting them guide you, man, the Most High take you up out of this thing. The Most High take you up out of this thing quickly, man. Right? Now let's deal with the mother. Right? Read verse 6 again. Read that last part of verse 6. Salaki. Hey, somebody mute up. Can somebody mute up on the call? A lot of back feed. All right, let's keep going. Read that last part of verse 6. Con. Let's get that on 6, the end of 6.
Verse 6 at the end. And he that is obedient unto Yahweh shall be comforted. Shall be a comfort unto Slakia. I'm gonna start again. And he that is obedient unto Yahweh shall be a comfort to his mother.
Why? Because you're not gonna bring your mother tears, man. Your face is not gonna be on a t-shirt somewhere. You're not gonna be stoned by the elders back in the day. You're gonna bring comfort to your mother. Because most men nowadays is mama's boys, man. It's the same thing back then. Brothers was probably mama's boys. So they had to bring that comfort to their mama. Mama had to have her baby. That's what it was back then, man. And it's the same thing today. All right, go to verse 7.
Verse 7. He that feareth Yahweh will honor his father, and will do service unto his parents, as to his masters.
Right. So look, into his masters. You're 9 to 5. At that 9 to 5, man, guess what you do? Whatever your boss say, yep, I got it. I'm on it. I need you to do this, that, and the third. All right, I got it. It's the same way. Even in the truth, the elders, the men that's over you, they tell you to do something, kind. You own it. It's the same thing with your fathers. Because you will want your son or your daughter to do the same thing to you. You will want them to be obedient unto you. Right?
Sure.
And that's how it has to be. With that father has to be obedient to his father. Because most kids are always watching. Children are observant. Us as men, if you still got your father in your life, you should still be attentive and observant. Right? Because you're going to pass that down to your son and to your daughter. All right? Go to verse 8.
God. Verse 8. Honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them.
So, right. Remember, this is still a letter. This is still advice from a father to his children. You have to honor them in word and deed. You can't have one without the other. All right, keep going.
God.
Verse 9.
Verse 9. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children.
Stop right there. The blessing of the father. Let's get a blessing real quick. Let's get a Genesis 27 and 27. Let's look at a blessing from the Most High. the houses of children, right? Because we all agree that our pedigree comes from our father. So let's look at a blessing that's put on our father that goes down to the houses of children. All right. Genesis 27 and 27.
God, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 27.
Uh-huh.
And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which Yahweh had blessed.
So right here, this is where we had our forefather Jacob kind of dress up like Esau, right? He goes to his father Isaac to receive the blessing. That's why I said he smelled like a field, because he was dressed like Esau. He smelled like Esau. Keep going.
Verse 28.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine.
Right. So start right there. This is the blessing that he put on Jacob. Even though it was, mistaken, we still received it. This was going to set up our houses forever, even after our children. So our blessing from our father was what? The dew of heaven, the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. We had great substance, right? Verse 29.
Verse 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee.
Stop right there. That tells you right there that we're going to have servants forever. People are going to serve us forever, from his child to his child to his child.
That's right.
If you're not obedient unto that, like we are now, we're not obedient to our spiritual father, the Most High. We don't have people serving us. That was our blessing from our father, and we passed that down to our children because we was obedient. Right? Keep reading.
God, be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
Right. So we had the authority. For the people that blessed us, we blessed them. For the people that cursed us, we cursed them. And we had the authority for our other brothers that came out of that. They was gonna bow down to us. Like Esau is gonna bow down to us. That's what it means right here. When it says thy mother's son bow down to thee. They also birthed Esau. So Esau is gonna bow down to us. Go ahead. Go ahead out on a call.
I just got a precept.
Come on, go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Just like you saying, another one, at the end of everything, Esau and the other nations, they gonna bow down to us because right now this is their kingdom, and they doing whatever they want to do. But when the kingdom of Jacob get established, well, really the kingdom of the Most High get established, we're gonna rule with a iron fist. Are you?
There you go. And that's a prophecy that's filled right there in Genesis from the beginning of the book that we was going to have people serve us. All right. Let's go back to Sirach. And back at verse 9 and start from the top.
Got one. This is Sirach 3 and 9. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children. But the curse of the mother rooted out foundations.
Now let's look at that right there. Even though we talking to the sons right now, we still gonna get on Eve, man. We still gonna get on Eve. Let's look at the mother that rooted out the foundations of the house. Give me Sirach 23 and 22. Let's see how a mother or a woman can root out the foundation. Let's see that. Sirach 23 and 22.
God. This is Sirach chapter 23, verse 22. Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband.
Stop right there. The wife that leaveth her husband. We already know you bound to the law. If you married, that's your wife, and that's your husband. You bound by that. Keep going.
And bringeth in an heir by another.
Stop right there. Read that one more time, Mark.
God. And bringeth in an heir by another.
And an heir is another man's seed. A wife leaveth her husband and bringeth in an heir by another. That'll ruin out a foundation. You want to see a brother mad? Go lay down with another man and raise up his seed. You won't have a happy home no more, man. You ain't gonna have a home at all. Maybe in Esau kingdom, you might. They're gonna find a way to blame it on the husband. But according to the Bible, man, you can root out a household like that, man. That's how. Now read 23. Read verse 23.
God, verse 23. For first, she hath disobeyed the law of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, she had trespassed against her own husband.
Right.
And thirdly, she had played the whore in adultery and brought her children by another man.
Con. So she has brought in children by another man. Look at how many laws she broke, man. She disobeyed the Most High. And then secondly, she trespassed against her own husband. That's how you root out a foundation. Because I know I'm not staying with no woman to step out. That household gone is ruined. Why? Because I need to be that example for my son. To let him know, hey, this woman has to keep the laws of the Most High. This woman disrespected Jew. How you gonna let that slide? If I see my pops do that, if I'm looking at my pops and I see that, you know, my stepmom stepped out, I'm gonna look at him like, yo, you better handle that. Because now if he don't, now I'm gonna get that in my spirit, like, okay, he let it slide 9 times out of 10, I may let it slide. And you imagine seeing that at a boy. You're gonna be obedient unto that because you seen your father do that, right? You had something out?
God. I mean, that's a commonplace thing nowadays.
Uh-huh.
You know, the women, they just treat it as if, you know, they are men now and they just go about and just sleep with anybody. There's no more chastity with themselves. It's a hot girl summer, demon time, all that stuff. They don't care. So when you have a wife that's gonna go off and build another house with another man, you know, that's in the root of foundations off rip. And I yield on that.
Hey, there you go. Right. The brother had a precept. You got one out?
I got one. I was just asking what was the previous precept that came forth?
Con, that was Sirach 23 and 22. Sirach 23 and 22. Con, no problem. All right, let's go back to Sirach 3 and let's go to verse 10. We're gonna go ahead and finish this.
God. Verse 10. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee.
Right. Read that one more time.
God. Verse 10. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee.
Right. Do not glory in your father's dishonor. Let's get something that's dishonorable that men in the world tend to glorify. Let's get Proverbs 22 and 6. No, Salaki. Let's get 2 Samuel 11 and 1. Let's get that. 2 Samuel 11 and 1. Let's look at something that is oftentimes glorified and in the world, man, and that brothers tend to do. Brothers like to obey the wrong thing, right? But this is why we teach it, right? Read that out.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 11, verse 1. And it came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, and David sent Joab and his servants with him, and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. And it came to pass in an evening tide that David arose from his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon. So
stop right there. Pay attention to that. David went out on the roof of the king's house, right, and seen a beautiful woman, like we all do. We all see a beautiful woman, and we grow attractive to her, right? Verse 3.
God, verse 3. And David.
Go ahead.
God. Verse 3. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?
Not right there. This was a married woman. This was a married woman. Oftentimes, brothers in the world be messing with married women. That is dishonorable, right? That's dishonorable. Continue reading.
Okay. Verse 4. And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house.
So David got down, man. David got down with a married woman, right? Hey, listen, Israel, my family, I'm going to be personal, man. When my dad used to do his thing, he would take me with him. And I love my pops. He repented of that. I told him, I'm like, you can't do that. But oftentimes back in the day, my dad would take me with him, you know, when he did his business. And me as a man, I learned those things. I thought it was cool to follow after my pops and his dishonor, right? And I did my little thing with it, but I was honoring my father when he was doing his dishonor. But think about it. When you come into the truth, you learn that was dishonorable. I can't, take pleasure in that. That's what Sirach is saying. You can't take pleasure in that, man. That's dishonorable to the Most High. That's worthy of death, right? Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 5. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child.
So stop right there. The woman came back and said, hey, I got a baby. I got a baby, yo. Now imagine that today. What brothers would have done? Hey, look, man, I'm out, man. That ain't my baby. Ain't my baby at all. Ain't you married? Maybe it's his. You know, and we tend to brag about those type of things. Fathers brag about it too. Yeah, man. Smash Brenda, Teresa and all that. And the son kind of sitting back laughing. Man, hey, man, Pop, you the man. You the man, Pop. No, Daddy is an adulterer. Daddy then got down with a married woman. That's nothing to glorify in, right? But what do we do as men in the world? We tend to follow after Daddy's footsteps. And if we don't shed that old man off, we may come into the truth and try to do those things. That's dishonorable. Don't follow in those footsteps, right? That's it on that. Let me stay in 2 Samuel, get 16 and 15. Let's see what David's son did.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 16, verse 15. And Absalom and all the people, the men of Israel, came to Jerusalem, and Ahithophel with him. And it came to pass when
for time's sake, go to 20 and read 21. For time's sake.
Verse 20. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, give counsel among you what we shall do. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, go in unto thy father's concubines.
Stop right there. That Absalom was David's son, right? This was David's son. He said, go in. This wicked counsel from this brother told David's son to go into your father's concubine. That's a married woman, technically. That's a married woman. That's your father's concubine, right? We followed after the footsteps of our father. He followed after the footsteps of his father. He took honor in his father's dishonor. He followed right in his footsteps. That's evil, man. That's wicked, right? Keep going.
Which he had left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that thou art abhorred of thy father. So
you are abhorred of your father, right? I mean, if he did this thing and this thing was disgusting, your father might have an evil eye towards you. Your father might have a grudge against you if you do those things. And that thing kind of incited him because he probably wanted some get back at his father. Right? Keep going.
Then shall the hands of all that are with thee be strong.
Mm-hmm.
So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of the house, and Absalom went into and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel.
But look at that. It's a concubines with an S on the end. Now look where he did it at. He did it on the top of the house. Now where did David go to get down when he first saw Bathsheba? He was on a rooftop.
Right.
It's crazy how that come back to you when your son kind of fall in your footsteps. Right? That's what happens, man. That's a dishonorable thing. And it said he did it in front of the whole sight of Israel. All the Israelites was looking at that dishonor. That's a crazy thing, man. That's a sad thing to do. That's what you don't want. You don't want to be obedient in that type of dishonor. Don't glorify in your father's dishonor like that, man. Let's go back to Sirach.
Okay. Verse 11. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children.
Right. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father. So when I remember growing up, I used to say, hey, man, you Nick's son, ain't you? Yeah, I know you. And your father, good man. So when your father is honorable, they look at you as his son and say, okay, I'll look out for you. You need a job? I'll look out for you. You need this? You need some money? I'll look out for you because I know your daddy. I know your father. So that's what it's saying right there. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father. So your glory comes from your father. The same thing when I have a little hatamad or a little bun yum yum, right? If we are honorable men, then our sons will also inherit that name and also inherit that honor, right? And we don't have that. Most of the time in the hood, man, you know, they remember you as, man, your daddy was a real go-getter, slinging them. I remember when your daddy used to roll dice and push that and push this and dish out that. That's how they remember you. They say, yeah, you fall in the same footsteps. You probably is because you was obedient into the wrong thing. You was still an obedient son, but you was obedient to the evil that your father was doing, right? All right, let's keep going. You got a precept out? You got anything?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, you just cutting me right now. That's all. I'm in awe right now.
Hey man, I'm cutting myself. Hopefully we edifying, man. Hopefully we edifying. Let's go to let me see. Give me Sirach 30:3 real quick. Sirach 30:3.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father,
Shalaki. So one that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. You grieve the enemy by doing what? Teaching your son, because your father taught you. So you want to be that glorious man and pass that honor down to your son. You want to do that. Keep going on that.
Verse 4. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead.
Read that one more time.
Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead.
Though his father died, it was like he never died, man. Why? Because he taught his son the law, statutes, and commandments. And his son was obedient unto that thing. Right? Keep reading.
For he hath left one behind. For he had left one behind him that is like himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
Right. So he wasn't sorrowful, man. Why? Because he left one behind just like himself. If your father was an honorable man and you was obedient to him and you followed in his footsteps, he had nothing to worry about when he died. He know his son was going to hold it down. How many of us can say that today? That your father taught you right things and that you could follow in your father's footsteps, along with keeping these commandments, which makes you a better man. But even the wisdom that your earthly father gives to you. How many of y'all know that if your father passed away, that you can still hold it down. You can still apply the principles that your father taught you. He got an avenger to his enemies, right? I think I can't find it right now, but when you read First Kings, when David was telling Solomon, don't let these certain people go down, with their hoary head. I mean, David was telling Solomon, hey, I need some get back on my enemies. I need this, that, and the third done to them. Because he left behind him an avenger to his enemies. All right, keep reading.
God. Verse 6. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
Right, the one that should requite kindness to his friends. Right, that means he pick up where his father left off. Right, if your father was a businessman, you're gonna pick up on his business. Right, let's go back to Sirach 3. Let's go back to Sirach 3. Brother says Salakia. Khan, go ahead.
Had a precept.
Had
a precept, Chris, out of my night.
Khan, go ahead.
Proverbs 28:7.
You heard that out?
Land back on the point.
Khan, he gonna bring it out. Hey, think about this, Israel. Meditate on this, man. For all you upcoming fathers, you new fathers, man, think about this. Think about what your son is going to see in you. Be that man that your son should follow. Don't fulfill that curse of leaving your sons, man. Stay grounded. Stay obedient. You got that out?
God. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart.
Shalakia. Go ahead.
Proverbs 28:7.
Proverbs 28:7.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 7. And it reads, whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of righteous men shameth his father.
So you shame your father. You will shame your father. You want to break that down, huh?
God.
Hold on.
I just want to land back on the point because just keeping the law and being in order is just wise. It's wise to, just like you've been bringing out, being wise to stand in order and following your father's footsteps, and not following any other examples or outside influences, but following your father's footsteps. You'll honor your father guaranteed that way. Now you.
There you go. If your father's a righteous man, he may not be in the truth, but he doing what he got to do. You ain't never missed a meal. You ain't never lacked for nothing. Your father was in the household. Take up that example. Listen to your father and listen to what the elders got to say. Combine the two. And be a mighty man. You got the law, statutes, and commandments, and you got some of the wisdom that your father passed down. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a balance, right? Don't put your father's. Matter of fact, I remember my dad used to say, when you leave this house, don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass my last name. Even though that's a slave master last name, my father used to say that. When you leave this house, do not embarrass my name. And I used to meditate on that thing for a long time until I got older. I used to say, dang, I stay in a small town. Everybody know my daddy, man. Everybody know my family. So if I go out here, I'm at this party, I'm somewhere where I ain't gotta be, and I know this particular person see me, it's going right back to my father. Because I didn't dishonor my father's name. Right? I wasn't obedient. I wasn't listening to the wise counsel that my father was saying. All right. Let's go back to Sirach.
Verse 13. And if his understanding fail,
verse 12. Read verse 12.
12.
Uh-huh.
Verse 12. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth.
Right. So help your father in his age when he getting up there. Don't send your father to a nursing home, man. And you got room for your father in your house. Don't do that. Imagine if your father would have put you in foster care. because he didn't want you no more. Don't do that. Take care of your father. Nurture your father when he get of old age. All right, keep going.
Verse 13. And if his understanding failed,
so like
patience with.
Hold on. So like, go ahead, brother, on the call.
God, Adawan, this prospect, Makai, Adawan, y'all done.
Shalom.
Precept, Proverbs 23:22. Hearken unto thy father that beget thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old.
Hey, there you go. It's the same thing. Because the Most High is a God of balance, man. Don't forsake your father in his old age, and don't do the same thing to your mother.
That's right.
Don't do that, man. That's dishonorable to the Most High. We supposed to, and that's why our Latino brothers they thrive so long, because you see them, man. They 10 in the household. I grew up around my Hispanic and Latino brothers. I would go over there, man. It's like 12 of them in the house. 12 of them in there. I'm like, damn, how y'all do this? Because us, man, once that child turned 18, you out the house. Once daddy get of a certain age, he go in a nursing home. They don't do that. They don't do that because they understand the principle of it. Take care of your father and your mother when they get of old age. All right? Let's keep going. Right? And like the brother said, if your father is down bad, level 4 cancer or something, Lord forbid, then, nursing home might be the best option. But if your father, he may be losing his sight in his right eye, that's okay, man. Take care of your father, right? But if he in a horrible condition, terrible, then you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Right? Just wanted to clear that up. Let's keep going.
Verse 13. And if his understanding failed, have patience with him.
Have patience. So have patience with him. Even when you come into the truth, like we spoke about earlier, you got to have patience with your father. Just because he was a Christian or a Muslim for 30 years, all of a sudden you come into the truth, you don't have no patience with your father. No patience with him. When you trying to break down the scriptures to him, and his understanding kind of failed, he don't get that. Well, I don't see what I don't see how Joseph was the father of Christ. I just don't see it, son. To hell with you, Dad. No, man. You can't do that. Just kind of going off that. When he in his old age, he kind of lose his memory a little bit. But it's the same thing when you fresh in the truth and you trying to explain this thing to your father, and he just don't get it. Still have patience with him. It may not be his time. Right? Keep going.
God. And despise him not when thou art in thy full strength.
That means when he about 7 years old and you 40 and you still got your strength, don't rise up against your dad. Hey, my pops used to tell me, hey, no matter how big you get, hey, don't try me. I'm gonna put you down. And I used to think to myself, man, you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you when you got 90, and I'm gonna sneak up on you, just hit you with a right one. I used to think those things when I was a young man, like, hey, wait till I get older. My dad would whoop me so much, I can't wait to get on him. Moses said, don't do that. When your father start lacking strength and you start gaining more and more strength, don't rise up against your father. Don't do that. Right? That cut me when I first read this. I'm like, damn, I can't believe I used to think like that, man. I really used to think like that. I couldn't wait till my dad got old and I got a little bit bigger. I said, I'm going to step to you one time. All the times you whoop me, I'm a step, bro. I'm a step. Come on. Hey, let the brother Banyam go first. You have something to say?
Yeah, Salakia. I mean, like, this whole chapter, when I first came to the truth, when I read this, man, it cut me from top to bottom. And what I see here is really, if you don't have any parents who are in the truth or whatever, and you came into this truth, everything's brand new to you, and you had to read the word and learn the law, statutes, commandments, and the Most High is telling you to do things that you really don't want to do. You grow up, your father, he's one way. He cussed you out, or he acted a certain way to you that you resent, and you just hate him. right? But then when you read this scripture, it cuts you to the heart because now the Most High is telling you the opposite. He's saying not to despise your father in his old age. You know, I sat back when I was a kid. My grandfather was on his deathbed, and all he wanted to do was talk to his son one more time. My father didn't go. You know, and that left a psychological cue in my mind. I'm like, damn, if you don't want to see your father on his deathbed, what you want me to do for you? You know, and before I was in the truth, I kind of felt that way. If you want your deathbed, if you call for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm busy. But now the Most High is saying right here, don't even despise him in his old age when you are at your full strength. You know, so if he beckons me, I gotta go.
Hey, there you go. Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. It used to be this little story that my family used to tell about my granddaddy. I still don't believe it to this day. But I heard my granddaddy, man, I don't know, it's passed down. This man took a chainsaw and split a whole single wide through the middle. Just took a chainsaw and just split a single wide trailer down the middle. And my mind just can't I'm like, how did he do that? And if he did do it, that man was in his full strength.
God.
And imagine when you get in your full strength. I still ain't able to do it. I ain't even gonna try. But family, they passed that down as a record. Like he did that. I have no choice but to believe it. That man was in his full strength. And he passed that down to my dad. My dad passed it down to me. Right? Because they tend to lose that strength. Right?
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Salakia, wasn't someone on the call saying Salakia?
Yeah, like anybody on the call had a precept?
No, I don't want it. So, Chad, I didn't have a precept. It was just a little follow about what you were saying about, you know, when you used to say stuff about, I can't wait till I get over to with my father. That's right after a good whip. But I use.
Hey, that's one of the whoopings where you sit in that, where you be crying. I can't wait to grow up. I can't wait to leave.
You packing your little bag?
Yeah, you packing that little bag. Packing that little bag, man. I can't wait to get up out of here. Your mama come in. What'd you say? Your daddy, what you say, boy? Nothing. Threw the bag. I ain't say nothing, mama. I ain't say nothing. You hurting me. Hey, man. That's how I used to be when we was kids. But hey, wait. You got to put away childish thoughts, man. You got to grow up. You got to mature.
God.
Right? Let's keep going on that.
God. Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
For the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins it shall be added to build thee up.
Read that last part again.
God. And instead of sins it shall be added to build thee up.
Right. So the things that you was doing by relieving your father, it's not going to go unforgotten, man. Instead of you sinning, it's going to build you up. Right? You're not thinking about those things that you used to want to do to your dad when you in your full strength. It's going to build you up now. Make you understand that, hey, my dad was in his prime. Now he's not in his prime no more. And you're going to think your son may look at you like that. Right? When you in your prime. Right? Let's go to verse. Let's keep going on that. Verse 15. Salak, go ahead, Doc.
Shalom. This is Prospect Elihu. I just wanted to add, I don't know if we're going to get to it in the scripture, but, you know, I grew up, obviously, in the Christian church, believing, honor thy mother and father, that when my father died in 2002, and I looked out for my mother until 2016 when she died, and because my sister's sick, we live together, I look out for her in honoring my mother and father, because they would have, you know, kind of took care of her. And I think it kind of translates with this in some fashion, because even after my father passed, you know, my mother was left without a husband. She never remarried. That was her only husband. You know, and I looked out for her, and I yield.
Hey, that's mighty. That's a mighty work, brother. And that's going to come back to you. That's going to build you up, like the scriptures just said. Instead of you sinning, it's going to build you up. And the Most High not going to forget that. Go ahead. Brother says Salakia.
No, not the one. This prospect of God. I think one of the things that many times we forget because of what the experience was like. Many of us had good experiences growing up, but many of us had bad.
Right.
The key thing about all of those experiences is that the Most High, the word of the Most High, Yahweh tells us, regardless of, when it said, honor thy mother and father, he did not put a stipulation on anything but honor them, meaning regardless of how they were, what they did not do, they still were supposed to honor them because that's a principle of life concept for us. That's preserves us. So it behooves us to do it. I yield.
And there you go. That goes exactly to the point that you made, right? With the Ottawa video that I brought out earlier. The Ottawa made a good point in the video. He said, hey, when you come with that Bible into your father, and your father say, hey, I don't want to hear that. You're like, but hey, look at this. I don't want to hear that. You go somewhere and you sit down and you shut up. Right. You know, when your mom say, hey, baby, I made you some pork. Say, Mom, I don't eat that no more. And then she kind of watch you. Y'all got to watch that video. I wish I knew the name of it. If a brother know the name of it, put it in the chat. That's a great video, you know, to go along with this lesson that the other one did. Right? But that's very true, brother. Let's get back into the message. We're gonna finish this thing out. Read verse 15 up. Shalaki. I think the brother froze. I'll read it right here. Sirach, chapter 3. You back?
Shalaki, I'm back. Shalaki.
Let's get that. Sirach 3 and 15.
This is Sirach 3, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
In the day of thine affliction it shall be remembered. Thy sins also shall melt away as the ice in the fair warm weather.
Look how many chances the Most High gave us to wipe our sins away just by obeying our father and our mother, man. Look at it. Look at it, man. You didn't have to wait till the Day of Atonement to get your sins wiped away. Give me Psalm 73 and 1. Psalm 73 and 1. Let's read the first part of that.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 73. Verse 1, you said?
Verse 1.
God. Verse 1. Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart.
Right, so there it goes. Truly, the Most High is good to Israel. Why? Because he gave Israel many ways to get your sins wiped away. Just like the ice melted in some warm weather. That's how your sins going to be if you show compassion and honor your mother and father. That's how it's going to be. That's a good thing coming from the Most High. But it only happens when you have a clean heart, a repentant heart. Right? Go ahead on that. Brother on the call says Salaki.
Hey, somebody needs to mute their phone. Sounds like they're in a warehouse or something.
Con. You had something, bro, Yum?
La.
Con. All right.
Keep moving.
Let's go back to Sirach. All right, go ahead, sister.
If I can get one of the Malaks to bring out a precept, Matthew 5 and 8.
Say that one more time, sister.
If I can get one of the Malaks to bring out a precept, Matthew 5 and 8.
Con, let's get that, brother.
Yeah.
Matthew 5 and 8.
God. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 8. Blessed are Slakia. This verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Right. Blessed are the pure in heart. You got to ask the Most High to purify your heart. Right? Like David did. You got to ask the Most High to purify your heart. Come to the Most High repentant. That's the only way you're going to see the Most High. That's the only way you're going to receive favor in the Most High's eyes, if you purify your heart. Right? And how do you get that purification? When the Most High wipes away all your sins like ice in the warm weather. And that's a way, by getting that, you got to honor your mother and father. That's easy access. How easy it to say, you know, your pop say, hey, I need you to do this, that, and the third. You say, Khan. And he say, Khan, yeah, that means, yeah, father. Yeah. You say, Khan, I got it, I'm on it. The Most High look at that, he looking at you like he's obedient to his father. His father may not know the truth, but he's obedient. I'm going to wipe his sins away. He did this, that, and the third. You know, he may have broke the Sabbath. He had to work. I'm going to wipe that away. All by honoring your mother and your father. All right? Let's go back to Sirach 3. Khan.
Let you know Chris entering the room. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Rakatah.
Yahweh Shah, Rakatah. All right, let's go back to Sirach 3 and 16. Khan, go ahead, out.
And this is Pastor Kendrick under I don't want to yakum y'all.
Shalom.
Bringing out a precept in Psalms 24, starting at verse 4.
Khan, the brother gonna get it. Psalms 24 and 4. What the brother bring it?
This is Psalms. Oh, sorry. This is Psalms chapter 24, verse 4, right? Okay. He that had clean hands and a pure heart, who had not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully.
Right, keep going.
He shall receive the blessing from Yahweh, and righteousness from the God of his salvation.
Right, so clean hands and a pure heart. Don't lift your soul up into vanity. We know, like when you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, this whole life is vanity, man. It's vanity and vexation of spirit, right? But you gotta go throughout this life with clean hands and a pure heart to receive your salvation, from the Most High, right? And also that comes again, honor your mother and father. Exodus 20 and 12. That's a commandment in the law. Those things must be followed. All right. Let's go back to Sirach 3 now. Sirach 3 and 16.
God, verse 16. He that forsaketh his father is as a blasphemer. And he that angereth his mother is cursed of God.
There you go. And that right there is why young brothers die in the street. Forsook your father and angered your mother. And now guess what? Cursed of God. You got a target on your back now.
God.
And most people, that's how they look at it. You may be young, black, with locks in your hair. Now you're a target for the police. Now you're a target. You got the red flag or the blue flag. Now you're a target to other gang members. Because you say, you know what? To hell with you, Dad. I'm going to be out here in these streets. You know what? Whatever with you, Mom. Hey, I'm out of here. Hey, Shalom, out. Shalom. You out of here now, man. And guess what? Now I'm smart. You're gonna have to Con, you did it. It's all good. Right? Keep going. Hey, Salakia. You still on the call? Y'all all?
Nah, I'm already off.
Okay, Con. All right, let's go. Let's go back to Sirach. Read that one more time.
Verse 16. He that forsaketh his father is a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is cursed of God.
Right. Give me that in Proverbs 30 and 17. Proverbs 30 and 17.
Khan's book of Proverbs chapter 30, verse 17. The eye that mocketh at his father and despise to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it.
There you go. The eye that mocketh his father. Now you despising your father. You done blaspheme your father in your heart. I don't want to do nothing he say. I'm going to go follow these brothers in the street. I'm finna go learn the dope game. I'm finna go learn how to push the rock. You mocking your father with your eyes because you see a great man that you do not want to follow. You don't want to obey this great man that's trying to discipline you. Right? Discipline you so you don't get shot in the street. So you don't get caught up in the gang life. If you don't want to do that, guess what? The ravens of the valley going to be eating at your body. Going to be eating at your eye. Because you're going to be somewhere dead, laid out. Your young eagles going to come and eat you up. The buzzards, that's what we got down here. The buzzards going to come eat your body up, man. Because you refuse to hearken to your father. And you angering your mother. So the Most High has now put a curse on you. All right? Let's go back to Sirach. Let's go ahead and finish this. Sirach 3 and 17.
Salakia ever precept.
Come bring that precept out.
All right, Proverbs 4 verse 1 going down. Hear ye children the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also, and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. So right there, the Father is telling us to be as good, like good sons in the presence of our mother, to keep his commandments. We must do these things so that we can live. What did Moses say to the children of Israel? This day I give you life and death. I want you to choose life, because death is going away from these law, statutes, and commandments. This is why we're in the predicament that we're in now, and we're trying to get back out of this. So, as a son, we need to hearken unto our parents' wisdom, their words. I mean, provided not everyone's in the truth, your parents may not be in the truth, but still, it's an honor to you just to hearken unto your parents if they're giving you good directions. You.
There you go. That's the whole point. The brother brought it out perfectly. Right? Perfect. Right on the head. All right, let's go to Sirach 3 and 17. Let's read that.
Okay. Verse 17. My son, go on with thy business in meekness. Mm-hmm. So shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved.
Right there. Stop right there. Go on with your business in meekness. Think about it. When we start making a little bit of money, man, what Jake do? Start flashing it. Get that vanity spirit. Start getting prideful. The Father's letting the Son know, be about your business, man, but be humble. Be meek with it. Don't get out here and start flashing stuff, man. Look, my dad used to do this thing with me, man, where my dad would have me sell candy at school. Instead of selling drugs, the pops ain't play that. He said, look, you want to make you some money in middle school, you're going to sell candy. Right? So he had me sell candy to all the kids, and I was making pretty good money, man. For somebody in middle school, making pretty good money. But as soon as I got it, I went to the lunchroom. Hey, yo, what you want? Hey, yo, I have my little girlfriend. What you want, baby? It's on me. Buying cookies and milk for everybody. I had to be meek about it. But in middle school, I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on being the man, being the boy with all the little candy money. Right? Let's go to Numbers. Get that, y'all were all. Numbers 12 and 3. Numbers 12 and 3. Let's get an example.
Comes the book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now the man Moses was very meek, above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
Right, so Moses was the most meekest man on the earth. This is the same man that split the Red Sea, split the rock. Oh, this man, Moses, was, he laid down the Egyptians for his brothers. He did all that, but he still remained meek. He was the leader amongst Israel, going up there talking to the Most High. Can you imagine that? Going up there talking to the Most High. And he still came back down meek, humble. That's what it says. Go on with thy business, but be meek about it. Don't get out here and start flashing stuff, man. Right? Don't go out here and start flashing. All right, let's go back to Sirach 3 and 17. Let's get 18.
God. Verse 18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before Yahweh.
And that's it right there. I can remember my father telling me that all the time when it came to sports. The better you are, the more humble you have to be. And I took that advice. I said, hey, I may be, the number one linebacker in the state. Whatever it may be, still remain humble, because you can get an injury. That's a life lesson that a son must be obedient to. The greater you are, the more humble you have to be. Be humble. Right? Let's get an example out of the Bible. Give me 1 Corinthians 8 and 1. 1 Corinthians 8 and 1.
On the book of Corinthians, chapter 8, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge.
Uh-huh.
Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth.
Knowledge puffeth up. When you come into this truth, we tend to, or let me speak about me. I ain't even gonna, put this on everybody. Me, when I came into the truth and I found out this precept and then this precept, and I felt like I knew the whole Bible. Next thing you know, I start downplaying other people. If you can't get it, man, Most High ain't dealing with you. I got puffed up by knowledge. I had to remember, the more knowledge I got, the humbler I had to be. I had to humble myself and realize, hey, these people, I was once in their shoes. That's a lesson that's taught to us in the world, but it's also taught to us in the truth by our spiritual fathers, our elders, right? That's a lesson that's taught all the time. Be humble with the knowledge that you have, right? Drop that. That's it on that. Let's go back to Sirach. We almost done.
Look,
Con, go ahead, King. Call.
what was that precept?
That precept was 1 Corinthians 8:1. Con, all praises. Let's go back to Sirach 3 and where we left off.
Verse 19. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek.
Right, so the mysteries of the Most High are revealed to the meek. Not always in the ones that's up in the LeBron James, all those people, they would not get this knowledge. They refuse to get it. They may hear about it, but they got all that money. They don't want it. It's given unto the meek. Us on the call, brothers in the camp, brothers in the body of Israel. We getting those mysteries. We getting the mysteries of the Most High. All right. Let's pull that precept the brother put in. Give me Sirach 1 and 10. Let's get that real quick. That's a nice precept. Sirach 1 and 10.
God, this is Sirach chapter 1, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
She is with all flesh according to his gift.
Uh-huh.
And he had given her to them that love him.
Right. And we know what love is, the keeping of the commandments. So wisdom is with those that love him. You think these athletes love the Most High? Absolutely not. They'll never get the mysteries. Right? Our fathers and our mothers, they know they stuck in Christianity. We got to understand that. They was indoctrinated for 30, 40 years with Christianity. They get a little bit of secrets, but they don't get it like we do. I used to ask my father all the time, man, when I was a young man, how you know that Bible, man, so off the top of the head? I used to be like, Pop, when I grow up, I want to get that. And I say, hey, man, how you get that? He said, I prayed for it. And I used to pray every night, Lord, let me get this, let me get that, let me get that. And finally, I got it. And now when my dad called me, my dad be like, I'm proud of you, son. You done excel me on your wisdom. I got to come for you for answers. That's because I'm actually keeping the commandments. Our fathers and mothers, they're not keeping the commandments like that. So the mysteries are not revealed to them. Doesn't mean we don't have to obey them, but we have to understand, hey, don't let your knowledge puff up against your parents. Still be patient with them. You reveal a little bit, deal with them according to knowledge, and you keep it moving. All right? Let's go back to Sirach 3. Hey, Salaki, go back to Sirach 1 and 26. Brother brought out a precept. Sirach 1 and 26.
God, this is Sirach 1, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and Yahweh shall give her unto thee.
There you go. If you desire wisdom, the Most High is going to give it to you. And like I said, I desire wisdom. I desire to know the Bible from front to back, from left to right. I desire that thing. And it wasn't until I was 18 when I got the knowledge. I'm 22 now. It wasn't until I was 18 that the Most High finally gave me wisdom, right? And my wisdom happened to excel my father's. But I still learned from my father. I was obedient when he said, hey, go and pray for it. I did. The Most High heard me because I sought out the Most High, and he gave wisdom to me. Just like he gave wisdom to these brothers that's on the call, that's in the nation of Israel. All right? Let's go back to Sirach 3. Con, go ahead, Art. What you got?
I don't have a precept, but I just did reiterate. I'm going through that with my father right now because he thinks God is everything, Jesus and the Holy Spirit. So right now he got the King James Bible, but he's a Pentecostal. So right now we're just taking baby steps, So
there you go. Take the baby steps, man. You in the right place to learn the baby steps to deal with your father. Don't force it on him. Let him come into it. Like when you watch that video that I've been mentioning all night, be the example. Be the example. The same way before you came into the truth, you used to want to be like your father. All the good things your father did, you want to be like him. So now be that example to your father. Right? Let's go back to Sirach 3.
God.
Sirach 3.
Verse 20. For the power of Yahweh is great, and he is honored of the lowly.
Come on, read it one more time.
Come, verse 20. For the power of Yahweh is great, and he is honored of the lowly.
So he's honored of the lowly, right? The ones that haven't raised themselves up. He's honored of the lowly, right? Keep going.
Come, verse 21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
Right, so that's what the Father is telling the Son. Don't seek out things that are too hard for thee. Stay in your place. If something is above your strength, don't go for that. Don't wing it like the other one always say. If you don't understand it, don't do it. Don't wing it. Never wing this thing, man. Right, that's what the Father is telling the Son. Read.
Come, verse 22. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret.
Right, so do what is commanded. Think upon the things that is commanded of you. Don't worry about the things that your eyes can't see. Don't worry about that. If it's not being revealed to you, maybe that's your season. Maybe it's your season to only know to only know the 10 commandments, to break down Deuteronomy 28. Maybe that's your portion right now. That's what the Father is telling the Son. Don't seek out those things, man. Right? Verse 23.
Verse 23. But be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand.
Right, stop right there. I ain't finna get too carnal, but I've been watching the show called Raising Canaan, right? About 50 Cent. And the brother that's playing 50 Cent takes it into his hands to go and do his mother's job, which is a drug lord, right? And he kills the boy, not knowing that, his mother has made a pact or made a truce with the competition. So now this man has went and took things into his own hands. That's the same thing the Most High, the Father is telling the Son. Don't be curious in unnecessary matters. What our parents used to say, get out grown folks' business. Stay in a child's place. When you see all the big dogs hanging around, man, my pa used to tell me, hey, look, go play the game, son. Go outside. Grown folks talking. Get out of unnecessary matters. Don't be curious with those things. My father used to tell me, man, he used to say, man, don't rush to get old. I used to be like, I'm tired of school, man. I'm tired of waking up, getting on the bus, eating that trashy lunch. I want to be a grown man. My father used to say, listen, don't rush to grow up. Right? Because I was curious with unnecessary matters. What it was like to be grown. What it felt like to pay bills. We're going to have to tell our son that. We're going to have to pass that knowledge down. Stay a child. Stay in a child's place. Right? Keep going. Go ahead.
Prospect Kendrick, underneath Yakamiya. Psalms 131, starting at verse 1.
Come on, you got that?
What you're touching on right now.
Psalms 131:1. The brother's going to bring it out.
Which one was it?
Psalms 131:1.
I got it. Psalms 131 and what, Salakia?
1.
All right, come on. The book of Psalms, chapter 131, verse 1. Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor my eyes lofty. Neither do I exercise myself in great matters, or in things too high for me.
Right, keep going.
Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child. Let Israel hope in the Most High, from henceforth and forever.
Right, so there you go. You have to be quiet like a child is that's weaned off his mother's breast. Just be there. Be on a fly on the wall. Be like a fly on the wall, man. Right? And that's a good precept. That's a real good precept, Bob. I'm gonna write that one down.
I was way ahead of you. I'm like, I was writing that down.
That's it on that, brother. That's all you in the pool.
Lock you.
Go ahead, yo, Raw.
Yeah, Con, and this even goes in this truth, of course, honor thy father and mother, but we also gotta know our place in this truth, like a lot of people, the reason we use the word bug out is because they get bugged out because they want to search these things that are not ready for them yet. They join a camp or they start listening to a camp and they feel like they know more than the elders in the camp or the captains, because they want to rush to the understanding instead of just taking the time and just learning slowly. Instead of like learning the law, learning what you're supposed to be doing, they want to jump to like the deep scriptures and jump to these other books, and that's why they get bugged out. And that happens in the world also. When you want to take on your parents' responsibilities or their duties, you get bugged out and people fall out. Are you?
There you go. That comes a lot of times when we want to walk in our Father's footsteps, but we haste to do it instead of doing what it is that He commanded us to do. Right? My pops used to teach me how to count money. He started with the ones, and I would rush to try to count the hundreds. Say, no, man, focus on the ones. Right? Focus on the ones, and then you can count the hundreds. But you must learn the basics. That's like the brother said. A lot of bug outs come because they want to search out things that's above them. Stay at your level, man. Stay at your level. If milk is what you got to break down the milk. All right. Let's finish this out. Let's keep reading out. Let's finish this out. Sorry, go ahead on the call.
No, this is Chris, Prospect Chris under Adawan Benaiah. Hebrews 5 and 12.
Kind of brother gonna pull it for you. Hebrews 5 and 12.
This is Hebrews 5 and verse 12. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
Right. So you can't skip the steps, man. You can't jump. I want to go and get the T-bone steak. No, you got to digest the milk. Even breaking down, formula milk is hard for a baby because you're supposed to be on the breast. You're supposed to be on that basic, the lower level of understanding when you first come into this truth. The same way with your father. The same way with your father. When he teaching you the things, don't start asking about bills. You know what I'm saying? When you haven't even mastered, how to change, the faucet or how to change the shower head in the shower. But you worry about paying the shower bill. No, stay with the milk, right? Stay with the lower understanding and be built up. Hey, think about this. Hey, them babies that's on that breast milk, they be big as all get out. They be chunky because they just sucking up all the milk. That's how you got to be in this truth. Spiritually, you got to be in this thing chunky, man, off the milk, right? That's how you got to be, right? Let's get back to Sirach.
Shalakia, Adawan.
Kind. So let's go. Go ahead.
This is Prospect Kendrick again, but I'm reading for my brother Mahak Ivan right now. This is going to be Romans 12 and 16.
Brother got that?
No, I couldn't bring it out because he's in a noisy house, so I'm bringing it out for Mahak.
Kind of brother on the call gonna get it. Romans 12 and 16.
The book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 16.
All right.
Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not the high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits.
There you go. Be not wise in your own conceits, man. And you got to remember, this is just kind of like a summary of what the Father's telling the Son. You got to think, this was his son, so he probably was telling him a whole lot more than this. Probably bringing out more scriptures, more understanding, probably some mysteries to his son. Probably had his son's mind just blown with so much knowledge and counsel that was coming to his father. But we just getting the milk of the matter, what he was telling his son. All right, let's go back to Sirach. Let's finish this out. We almost done. Let's finish this out.
Verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment.
There you go, an evil suspicion, thinking that you know something, thinking that you got it, and then that's an evil suspicion because you don't really know what's really going on. And we tend to do that, like I said, being in grown folks' business as a child. You know what I'm saying? Worried about the dark sands that's not given to you yet. Now you got an evil suspicion. Keep going.
God. Verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
Without eyes thou shalt want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not.
Right. So without eyes, you searching for the light. Don't profess things that you don't have. Don't speak out of turn. Don't blot out. Right? That's what the fathers used to say. If you ain't got it, close your mouth, man. If you ain't got it, just close your mouth. Right? Keep going.
God. Verse 26. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein.
There you go. And that word fair means to proceed. So a stubborn heart is going to proceed evil at the last. So he's going to do evil so much, even to the day that he dies, man. It's going to lead him right to a grave. And the father saying to the son, don't proceed evil lest you fall into a grave, man. Don't go down that route. Don't pick that lifestyle. Choose this godly lifestyle. But if you do want to choose this lifestyle, this is your destruction. This is your latter end, right? Keep reading.
God.
It's like all because that son has a stubborn heart. Stubborn heart. Doesn't want to obey his father. That's his latter end. Salakia, keep going.
Verse 27. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows. The wicked man shall heap sin upon sin.
And there you go. An abstinent heart. That word for abstinent is like stubborn. So a stubborn heart, again, shall be laden with sorrows. You always going to be sorrowful, man. Because you stubborn. You don't want to hear anything that your father talking about. None of the advice or the counsels, even in the truth. None of the counsels of the elders, the wise men. You're just going to be a stubborn man, a stubborn boy. Right? You're going to be sorrowful all the days of your life. Keep going.
God. Verse 28. In the punishment of the proud, there is no remedy.
Mm-hmm.
For the plant of wickedness hath taken root in him.
You have taken root of that. So like, read it one more time.
God. In the verse 28, in the punishment of the proud, there is no remedy. For the plant of wickedness hath taken root in him.
Right. So you have became a plant of wickedness. Wickedness is all throughout your body, man. Let's get that in Romans 7:17. You became a wicked plant, a planter of wickedness.
Book of Romans chapter 7 verse 17. Now then it is no more.
Start up at read the verse before that.
Romans chapter 7 verse 16. For we know that the law.
Salakia. Read verse 15.
Verse 15. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that I do not, or what I hate, that I do.
Right. So the things that we hate to do, those are the things that we do tend to do. Right? Because we have become a plant of wickedness. Right? Read.
If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that is good. That is good.
There you go. Keep going.
Now then is no more that I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me.
There you go. So it's no more you that does it. It's the sin that dwells in you, because you have become that plant of wickedness, right? You have become that plant of wickedness, and you have to be rooted out, right? You have to purge that wickedness up out of you. Kai, you got a precept up?
This prospect of Kai, Adawan Yarda. Psalms 32:10.
Oh, let's get that real quick. Psalm 32:10. Psalms 32:10.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 32, verse 10. Many sorrows shall be to the wicked, but he that trusteth in Yahweh, mercy shall compass him about.
Right, so mercy shall compass him about. The one that trusteth in the Most High. Because many sorrows will be wicked, man. Because once you feel sorrowful, you start to do wicked things. You start to kind of feel bad for yourself, right? You tend to make sin worse and worse and worse, heaping sin onto you, man. That's what we tend to do when we become sorrowful. But the ones that trusteth in the Most High, You're going to come out with a reward, man. You're going to escape from that sin, right? Let's go back. Let's finish Sirach out. Sirach 3 out. And like
verse 29.
So like the sister said in the chat, it is easy to do wrong, man. Once you've learned wrong so much, it tends to be easy. If sin is easy to do, it's easy to sin, but it's hard to do right. That's why I said we have to hearken to the advice that the father is giving to the children. You got to listen to that. That way you don't fall into that mischief or fall into that sin. All right? Don't turn your ear from hearing that, man. Like the scriptures say, don't turn your ear from hearing the law, lest your prayers be an abomination. Right? Let's keep going. Let's go back to Sirach.
Verse 29. The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man.
Right, an attentive ear, just like I just said. Be willing to hear what the Father is saying, the spiritual and your earthly father. If your earthly father is not causing you to sin, hearken to that advice, man. Listen to that advice. Desire that only a wise man or woman desires wisdom, right? To listen to wisdom, right? Keep going.
God, verse 30. Water will quench a flaming fire, and alms make it an atonement for sins.
There you go again. The same way honoring your father and your mother make wipes your sin away, and so does alms, giving, charity, make of atonement for your sins. Finish that out.
Verse 31. And he that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter. Lucky, let me read that again. And he that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter. And when he falleth, he shall find a stay.
There you go. And when he falleth, he shall find a stay. Give me Proverbs 24 and 16 real quick. Proverbs 24 and 16.
God's book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
There you go. When you fall, rise up again. Because the just man's gonna fall. The just man's gonna be sometimes taken in temptation, but the Most High is gonna make an escape for you. So you gotta rise up, even if it take you 7 times, a completion of a mountain. Rise up, continue to walk that walk, man. Because you shall find a stay. You're gonna find a stay or a comfort in the Most High's eyes, man, in His grace, right? We're gonna break down a little bit of Sirach 4. We're gonna go to verse 10, and then we're gonna be done. Sirach 4 and start at 1.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 1. My son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long.
Right. Defraud not the poor of his living. That's an advice. Don't forsake the poor. Right? Don't defraud them of their living. Read.
Verse 2. Make not an hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress.
Right? Don't kick a man when he's down. Don't provoke a man when he's in distress, man. Right? And you see a lot of celebrities do this. They tend to provoke the ones that's a little bit poor. They come up to him, they give him to him, they got the camera all in their face. You provoking a man while he in distress. He don't know whether to take that gift or not. Are you doing this for charity, to be seen of men? Or are you just doing this because the Most High is looking at you, not the account of other men? That's how we have to be. Provoke not a man in this distress. If you're going to help the man, help him. And the Most High going to return it back to you. Right? Verse 3.
Verse 3. Add no more trouble to an heart that is vexed.
Start right there. Don't be that bearer of bad news all the time. You see a brother or sister that's, down bad, here you come with more bad news. His heart already vexed. Her heart is already vexed. Let him be. Don't be that type of brother. Right? Keep reading.
And defer not to give to him that is in need.
Defer not. If a brother or sister is in need, give to them. That's what the father's telling the son. The father's teaching that son to be a well-balanced man. A well-balanced man. You got it, give it. Right? Keep going.
Verse 4. Reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from a poor man.
Don't turn your face from a poor man. Right? You got to, like the scripture said, you got to do good to the ones that you know. Watch who you do good to, basically. Right? Give me James 2 and 15. Let's demonstrate that. James 2 and 15. James 2 and 15.
The book of James, chapter 2, verse 15. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food. Verse 16. And one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled.
Look at that. The brother be destitute or sister be destitute.
Wicked.
And all you got to say, hey, depart in peace. Shalom, brother. While you got you got a full stomach, a coat on, the jammies on, and all you got, hey, depart, brother. Hey, shalom. Most High gonna bless you. What kind of mess is that, man? You defrauding the poor. You're not lending your hand to the poor. Because a brother or sister may not have it, but you do. Right? Finish that up.
Con. Notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needful to the body. What does it profit?
It doesn't profit you anything if you don't give to them the what they need for the body. But all you can say is, look, be warmed and filled. Shalom. That's what the father is teaching the son. Don't be that type of brother. Don't be that son. Don't be that son. Don't be that daughter. Right? Let's go back to Sirach.
God.
Con.
Verse.
Got a precept?
What was that precept?
That was James 2 and 15. Con, all praises. All right, go back to Sirach. We're going to finish this out.
God. Verse 5. God. Verse 5. Turn not thine eye away from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee. For if he curse thee in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer shall be heard of him that made him.
Read that one more time. Start from verse 5 one more time.
Verse 5. Turn not away thine eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee.
Right. So there you go. Don't give the occasion for somebody to curse you. Read.
For if he curse thee in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer shall be heard of him that made him.
Right, because guess what? The prayer that he made, because he didn't curse you, the Most High gonna hear that. I remember my dad used to tell the people, hey, I won't give you money, but I feed you. But man, they used to get mad. The son said, hey, I need food. My dad will pull around, hey, jump in. We take you to Golden Corral. I don't need no food, man. I need money. We like, yo, your son say you need food. I don't want no food, man. Give me the money. He done cursed you.
You want that quick fix?
He want that quick fix. Right? I remember riding around and a man was standing out and I gave him, I had just bought something from fast food. This is a couple years ago. The man opened it up, he throw it on the ground. I said, yo, I kind of like, yo, what's up? You know, crazy. And that make it hard to kind of give to people. But guess what? He done in that type of manner, he cursed me in his heart. I don't want this. I was looking out for him. And now guess what? The Most High heard that when he go and make his prayer for somebody to send him some food. Most High gonna make it bad for him. Right? So don't even worry about that. If a man, when you give them to the needy and they kind of disrespect you, they don't want that. Don't worry about it. Right? Brother said he got a precept.
One out of one. It's Prospect Bakai. Y'all done. Ephesians 4:29.
Bring that up. Ephesians 4:29.
Come to the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers.
There you go. Don't let corrupt communication come out of your mouth unless it's for edifying. If a brother curse you, hey, shalom, brother. That's when you say, hey, look, hey, be warned and be filled. Shalom. Let him curse you. And unless you edify, let him talk his talk and be at peace with him. Because once he go and he make his prayer, guess what? It's not going to be heard of the Most High. Not if he asking for something. The Most High going to look and say, hey, look, you cursed your brother in your heart. The Most High don't play that. Right? Let's finish that in Sirach.
God.
Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, brother says Salakia.
Prospect Gary under Malachi.
Go on.
Proverbs 19:17.
Proverbs 19:17. Let's pull that and then we're gonna finish this up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
He that has pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he has given will pay him again. He will pay him again.
There you go. So when you lend it to the poor or the needy, when you give that coat off your back, you know what I'm saying, or when you give those fringes to somebody that say, hey, I don't have any money to get any fringes or tassels, and you give them yours, know that you lend to the Most High. Now he gonna give it back to you double, triple, however many times he want to give it back to you, he gonna give it back. Right? Let's finish this out. We're gonna finish this.
God, verse 7. Get thyself the love of the congregation, and bow thy head to a great man.
Right. The father's telling the son, hey, get love of the congregation. Bow thy head to great men. Right? The elders, hey, you see the elders? Hey, shalom. Yahweh Shem Shah. Barakatah. Bow yourself to great men. Right? Give me let me get Proverbs 22:1. Proverbs 22:1. Getting the love of the congregation.
On the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold.
There you go. A good name. That's how you get the love of the congregation. The congregation is going to love you by your name, your fruits, your actions, the fruit of the Spirit. That's how the congregation is going to love you. If you a mealy mouth brother, always gossiping about brothers, not giving alms, not lending to the needy, you're going to have a bad name in the congregation, and your money and your riches won't make up for it. Right? Let's finish that out in Sirach, then we're gonna wrap this thing up, man.
God. Verse 8. Let it not grieve thee to bow down thine ear to the poor, and give him a friendly answer with meekness.
Right. Go to the poor and needy of your people. The ones that's keeping the commandments, but just don't have it like that. Lend your ear to them. Hear them. Right. Give them a soft and meek answer. No, make it aware that, hey, I'm here for you. You need me, I got your back. All right, read.
God. Verse 8. Slakia. Verse 9. Deliver him that suffereth wrong from the hand of the oppressor, and be not faint-hearted when thou sittest in judgment.
There you go. Deliver him that suffereth wrong from the hand of the oppressors. Right, brothers with businesses. Right, brothers with businesses. You hear this brother, he always complain about his job and how they do him so wrong. Hey, look, hire the brother. Hire the brother. Deliver him. We know we can't get that deliverance all together until Yahushua come back, but make a way. You got your own business, open your doors up to the brother, man. This is the advice that a righteous father is giving to his son to follow. We must pass this down. Your father wasn't in the truth. Your father may not have passed these down like the brother doing right here, but he did his best. But now that we in the truth, we have to pass down righteousness, pass down the law and commandments. Even if you got to read this to your children, do that. Be that example. All right, finish that out. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of an husband unto their mother, so shalt thou be as the son of the Most High, and he shall love thee more than thy mother doth.
There you go. Be a father to the fatherless, man. Right? You meet a sister, she got a son, and the man ain't there, man. Be that father be that big brother, be that big uncle before you start thinking about his mama. Be there. Check on the fatherless. That's one of our jobs as men in the truth, man. That's what we're supposed to be doing, right? That's a righteous example that a man or a woman, particularly a son, a man should be following after the instructions of his father, man. You know, but with that, that's all I got. You know, I pray the class was edifying, man. You know, hey, shalom. Right? Any brothers, sisters got questions pertaining to the lesson?
Salakia, Adawan.
Come on, go ahead.
It's Prospect Makai. Adawan, y'all down. I just wanted to kind of go back to that last verse when you said you're talking about be not a father to the fatherless. But a key point that a lot of brothers need to also understand in doing that is also not, it said instead of being a husband unto their mother, it's saying that don't mean going into their mother because you being a father to the fatherless and being a role model to them young men. That don't mean necessarily you got to get with their mama.
Hey, there you go. I'm glad somebody said it. Hey, listen. Hey, don't be a father to the father's child just to get the attention of his mama. Thinking, yeah, she see me being cool with her son. Yeah, she gonna make me her husband. Don't be that, brother, man. Be there because the Most High said be there. Be there because the Most High said, hey, look, check on the fatherless. Because the curses is real. Fathers ain't in the house. Be there. Be there for those fatherless children, man. You know, the brother brought out a good point. Right? That's it. That's all you had on that?
Absolutely.
Anybody else got anything pertaining to the lesson? Go ahead.
What is the name of this lesson?
Really, it was called the obedient son. Anybody else? We're gonna be. Go ahead.
It's Prospect Isaiah. Everyone can know. I had a precept for that last precept that you pulled out.
Go ahead.
Precept is Book of Isaiah, chapter 1, and verse 16. It says, "Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil you are doing for before my eyes, and cease to do evil, learn to do good, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, and plead for the widow." So it's not only about doing these things because it's the right thing to do. We also got to understand that when we do the right thing, when we are being fathers to the fatherless, and we're pleading for the widow, for, I'm going to be a new husband. I ain't doing it because that's what Yahweh commands. We're also atoning for sins. You know, the scripture say the arms cover a multitude of sins. So we're also doing that as well.
There you go. That's beautiful right there. All right, anybody else? Go ahead.
This is Prospect Elihu under Captain Sakura. I just wanted to say thank you. Great lesson. Tawada. Great lesson.
Hey, all praise to the Most High, man. Anybody else?
All right, Hataman, let me say something real quick.
Hey, go ahead, Adawan.
Hey, yo, somebody got to mute their phone. We got some feedback. Whose phone is that? Okay, perfect, beautiful. Listen,
Salakia, Adawan.
Yeah, mute that for me, please. We got the Hebrew Summit coming up. Listen, I want everybody to be safe and careful. Okay? If you have what you think is a hay fever or summer allergies, have the courtesy to go and get tested to see what's up with you, to make sure that you don't have COVID. All right? We're not outside of the realm of practicality.
Brothers is not telling you to go take Esau's vaccine. And I'm living proof that you can beat COVID. You can come back from it. You know, if you get your proper rest and you take the medical precaution that makes sense, you'll be all right in a few days. It's gonna suck. It was misery, but you're gonna be all right in a week or two. All right. But prior to that, I could have easily gone to see the doctor and in 5 minutes got my throat swabbed to see if I have COVID-19. And I could have started my medicinal routine earlier before things got hard for me, and it laid me down and kicked my ass for a week and a half. All right. So if you come into the summit and you feel great, good. But if you, hey man, I got a little headache here, you know, I got a little pressure, my sinus is not normal, I'm feeling a little cold, I might need to lay down. If you got any of those feelings, have the courtesy, go check and make sure you don't get the congregation sick, because we're going to be in close proximity with each other. All right? Through the faith and the spirit of Yahweh, everybody's going to be fine, and we'll have a good time as expected. But it is discourteous if you're not feeling well to just disregard it and come amongst the congregation. Does everybody understand what I'm saying?
Con out of
One.
It's disgusting to hear your voice out of on phrases. Understood.
Yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm doing a lot better. This disease try to kill me, man. It straight try to kill me. Brother Canol took excellent care of me in the beginning when it was at the worst possible stage where it could have took me off here, because I didn't have nobody here to help me. I live alone, so I didn't have no help, and I was ultra fatigued. I couldn't barely move. I couldn't sit up in the bed. All I could do was lay, and it hurt to lay, because you get bed sore from hours and hours and hours, days of laying in the same position. You injure yourself. So that brother, he braved it. He came in my house and picked me up, sat me up, gave me food. You know, that brother helped me a lot, and as well as the sisters and brothers and sisters who brought me medicine and provision. I was too weak to bring it in the house, so Canol did that for me. All right, for me to walk down the stairs was like game over. I'm sweating profusely, and I'm a collapse. That's the way this disease works. So it's very unfair. This man-made disease, Moab, stupid ass, want to eat that, and I'm gonna break his head with a rod of iron. And the Lord,
that's right.
That's right.
But also, I don't have any pre-existing conditions, and I'm in decent shape. This can affect brothers and sisters very bad, depending on other circumstances and factors. So the best thing you can do is, I don't feel so well. Just being real. How did it start with me? I felt like I was just tired, and I had the sniffles. Well, I was discourteous to think, it's just a summer cold. That was irresponsible of me, because it turned out that I had COVID. So I'm asking y'all to do the same thing. If you feel some sinus pressure and a little summer sniffles, but you don't feel that bad, it doesn't matter how bad you feel. Have the courtesy to say, I'm going to fall back from the people. It don't cost me nothing. COVID exam is free. I'm going to just go in the hospital real quick at a testing location. I could Google that. It takes 5 minutes. I ain't even going to be in here long. They're going to swab my throat, and then they're going to give me my results in 24 hours. Then you will know. And if you see a positive result, it's good, because that means, oh shit, I need to take care of it. Excuse my language, y'all. That means, oh man, I need to take care of myself. You're going to get, now brothers have counsel and advice on what to do. I'm first-hand survivor. I know what worked and what didn't do nothing for me. I can tell you, take these specific vitamins and you need to do this, because it's going to get hard when you turn this specific corner. But can't nobody help you. Can't nobody help you if you don't know and if you don't check. And then the worst thing is when You don't check, and then it overtakes you because you didn't strengthen your immune system and prepare yourself. So now it caught you, and then it's too late once it does that, brothers and sisters. This is vicious. This is not like a flu you've ever had. This disease is designed to kill you and destroy you. So you're gonna get hit with every symptom at once: diarrhea, vomiting, profuse sweating, which causes dehydration. Then diarrhea adds to dehydration. Plus, you're gonna have an endless migraine, and you're gonna have a fever that won't break. My fever lasted 6 days. That'll kill you, man. So I'm trying to get y'all to understand, if y'all coming amongst the congregation and you don't feel well, have the courtesy to go see what's wrong with you. And if you got a negative exam and it's just a damn little summer cold, all right, well then we'll be all right, because you ain't gonna kill nobody with what you got. But we're gonna have elderly people amongst us and babies. So please be careful. Everybody understand?
Another one. I'm still out of commission. I'm still out of commission for another week, and I'm not gonna come to the summit if I can't get a clean bill from the doctor. So I'm gonna go to the doctor and have them swab me again. And if my exam comes back, nope, still positive, you will not see me at the summit. I'm not going to do that to y'all. That's the courtesy and love I got for my brothers and sisters. But I'm asking y'all to do the same thing, all right? Now, we're going to take care of y'all. We got locations, and we're going to have all types of provision, but it costs thousands of dollars. We need y'all to help us with that, all right? You don't personally have to be our patron and give a ton of money, but as a group, we can soften the blow. So make sure y'all send something to the CashApp or the PayPal, SOTIsraelites, and the PayPal. If you go on any of our YouTube video and go to the description, it'll show you how to donate to us. Any YouTube video that we've ever made, just go check the description. It'll show you how to donate to us. This video tonight has it in the description. So give us a little something, because we're going to give it all back to you. Con? I'm going to finish the lentil soup. I've been eating lentils lately because Esau sold his birthright. I want to taste the goodness of what he sold it for. I'm going to get back to this lentil. How the mod take back over? Are you?
Hey. All praise to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? The Most High raised the Ottawa back up. All praise, man.
All praises.
Con, go ahead, brother.
This is Prospect Isaiah again. I want to say a lot to the Most High for the Ottawa and y'all all. Giving them his strength back, and I'm also praying that y'all pray for my rib, because I think she may have come down with the same thing. She don't have all the symptoms that the other one spoke of, but that headache that lasted, that migraine that lasted for days, that fever, congestion, she got that. I've been trying to, doctor on her the best I could without, getting anything myself. So for courtesy, we might not be able to make it to camp tomorrow, because I don't want to get nobody sick. I've been praying for both of them, at the same time. And she's actually getting better. She's moving around now. She was bed stricken. Like it hurt her to get out of bed. It hurt her to stay in bed for too long. But she was real uncomfortable. And I'm just not getting the AC working, because it was real hot in here too. So that was making it worse. But I'm praying that y'all pray for her, and pray that the Most High give her strength back. And he's doing it already. I see him doing it. But now she's moving around. She's actually trying to clean and stuff like that. But, all praise.
Con. Hey, all praise.
Thanks a lot, kid.
Con. Go ahead.
And this is just this brother Yaquar, this is just another wake-up call just for brothers in general, man. To make sure you taking care of your personal health, your hygiene,
getting on your vitamin C, drinking your teas in the morning, at night, your natural remedies. That's what you like to do. Make sure you get back on these type of things, man. Don't slack up because we feel like COVID has slacked up, because that's not the case, man. I'm in the hospital with it every day, and they're saying the Delta variant is as contagious as chickenpox right now. I don't know if brothers have seen it. Israel, the country Israel, they have already put out a booster shot. So the 65 up in Israel right now is getting the booster shot. So a third COVID shot on top of the 2 of Moderna, and Pfizer shot. So they're saying this strand is way more contagious. So I'm just reiterating, brothers, make sure you're taking the proper precautions. And understand, when you're going out, man, make sure you wear your mask, have your hands sanitized. Continue to dap up, really not shaking people's hands. You know what I'm saying? And definitely, brothers that's coming around the camp. If you're sick, like the brother just spoke about his wife is sick. I advise that brother, I forgot his name, I think he said Isaiah, the prospect. Hey, you cannot come to camp for like 2 weeks. If your wife was literally sick, if she was sick, then we have to take those same precautions, man, because you can come to camp and be asymptomatic, meaning no symptoms, and then spread it rapidly. Right? So we got to be careful. Even if brothers, I don't want to say, but I want to follow back up on it. Even if brothers have symptoms, if you have symptoms and go get tested, and you still have, somebody reach your phone, you still have symptoms the day of the summit, talking about you're going to come. No, you cannot come to the summit if you have symptoms. That does not make sense, because there's something called a false negative. So if you have any symptoms, you got to stay away from brothers, because you can go get tested and it can say negative. And then you come around and spread it to everybody, and you around here coughing, sneezing, and got the symptoms. No. If you have symptoms, you got to stay away from the camp. It's different if you're asymptomatic and no one knows. But if you have those symptoms, please make sure you're protecting your family, the brothers, especially the elders, and the children that's going to be at this summit and at that camp, for your sake and for the body's sake. So brothers taking care of yourselves. And if brothers need anything, any advice, hit me up. I'll try to help you as best as I can.
Another one. Hey, we're gonna wrap up the call. Wrap up the live, and we're gonna jump on the call. For any more questions that's not pertaining to the lesson. But we're gonna talk about the summit one more time. The other one got the flyer. Right. And we are gonna have camp August 6th, that Friday at Woodruff Park. It's gonna be at 2 p.m. Also, we have the summit August 7th, that Saturday. It's gonna be I forgot where it's going to be. It's going to be at 12 p.m. though. And also August 8th, we are going to have a cookout at 12 noon as well. That's the order for the summit. August 6th through the 11th in Atlanta, Georgia, hosted by the Sons of Thunder Israelites. Come out, come out and enjoy yourself, Israel. We look forward to seeing you. Like I said, we're finna jump on the call. The number to the call, if anybody needs it, is 605-472-5308, and the access code is 650-372 and the # If anybody wants to jump on the call, with that, I'm gonna say Shalom. It's Brother Hatamad,
Brother Benyamia.
All right,
Brother Benyamia. Shalom.
Stay safe.
Hey, it's our heart's prayer and desire that all Israel be saved, man. Hey, Esau, hey, you cannot get away, man.
You can't.
Or Moab.
Any of the heathen can't get away, man. Shalom.
Right.
Shalom, family.
Shalom.